You're watching Oklahoma Sooner Gymnastics on Sooner Vision, brought to you by OU Health on ESPN+. And this is the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman, Oklahoma, where it's the final meet of the regular season as #1 Oklahoma is set to host 14th ranked Arizona State on Senior Day for the Sooners of Oklahoma. Hi, everyone. Steve Schlanger with the national champion from OU, Natalie Brown. And Natalie, let's begin with the visitors from Arizona State, ranked 14th in the nation, coming off a win over 11th-ranked Oregon State last week, and really peaking here at the right time late in the regular season.
Yeah, head coach Jay Santos is really proud of them and the resilience that they've shown so far this season, and he can see the confidence growing. He believes that they are on a roll, so let's see if they can continue here tonight.
Meanwhile, for Oklahoma, it is Senior Day, and 4 seniors honored. And when you think about the decorated nature of this Oklahoma program over the years, these 4 seniors are some of the most accomplished the program has ever produced.
Yeah, they've left such a huge impact on this program, and they really define what it means to be an Oklahoma Sooner gymnast. I know nights like this can be emotional, but the best part of season has yet to come, and each of them really just needs to enjoy competing one last time tonight in the LNC.
All right, so about to commence, Oklahoma, the #1 team in the nation, on the vaults. Danny Severs leading things off.
Great explosion off the table, just a small step on the landing. You know, she's been sticking this vault multiple times so far this season, and hopefully soon we'll see a 10 from Danny. You see right here, great block off the table, and just a small step on the landing. That's going to be a great leadoff score for Oklahoma.
A sophomore from South Dakota, 12th in the nation on vault at this point. And now over for our first look at bars, and Alex Theodoro is up first.
Starts off with that straddle Jaeger. Nails that handstand on the low bar. So far, a really good leadoff routine for Arizona State. Just small separation in the air. The judges probably won't see that, but she got the stick, so a great routine for Arizona State to lead off.
The sophomore from Phoenix for this Sun Devil team that comes in with a record of 7-5 on the season, just 1-2 away from Tempe, however. Severs had a 9.875 on vault to lead things off, and now Danae Fletcher coming up next for OU.
Allie Stern, actually, and this was her last time competing in that Lloyd Noble Center. A great vault from her, great block off the table. Just a small little step again, but a great recovery from last week. She had a little bit of trouble. Just a small hop on that landing, but you can tell she's happy to come back with that coming from last week.
There was a late change on the lineup for OU, mixing things up here late just before the start. Sienna Samily up next on the bars for Arizona State. This is a Sun Devil program ranked 12th on this event at this point in the season. And Natalie, always tricky when you come into a place like OU where the Sooners are so dominant and have such a prodigious reputation. Those first few routines are really important to set the tone for the day, aren't they?
Oh yeah, for sure, especially with the growing crowd that Oklahoma has had this season. It's definitely intimidating, but they're handling the pressure so far really good. A great double layout dismount. That was a wonderful routine for Arizona State. They are off to such a great start.
Samily with 1 title this season on bars as we take you to the Riverwing keys to the meet, Natalie.
Yeah, the keys to the meet this week are use the loss from last week against Michigan as motivation. You know, number 2, be themselves. They're #1 for a reason. And then 3, celebrate the seniors with this last meet at home. And here's Kat Lavasser, stakes her vault. Oh my goodness. That looks like perfection to me. She
and what a
is
response.
just Yeah, she is just on right now. You can see great block off that table, so clean in the air, and then finds that landing. This is the third time she has done this so far this season.
She already has a 10 on vault this season, ranked 4th nationally on this event, the junior from San Antonio, Texas.
And she did it. She got the 10.
Third vault of the day and already a 10.
So deserving.
Now have to try and compose themselves, handle the atmosphere, and rebound on bars after seeing what just happened overall in the vault for the home side.
It definitely can be difficult, especially coming in as the visiting team, but I think that they're handling it really well. Another great routine right here. They're finding their landings. Another stuck dismount. I believe that is 3 in a row for the Sun Devils.
Jada Mangaha is a very good junior from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Her best event will be the floor coming up later, but a nice start for her here on the bars.
Yeah, you can see that half in, half out dismount right there, just finds the landing.
And now Olivia Troutman, the senior from Minnesota, 5th-year senior who's been such a huge part of this program the last several years.
Last vault for her in the Lloyd Noble Center. Great block off the table. Just a small little hop for her, but she has really been nailing these vaults so far. You can see right here, explosive off that table. Just has to take a small step. You know, she stuck the past 2 vaults in the past 2 weeks. So just a little small hop there. Not bad, but obviously we can see her get a 10.
She won the vault title last week on the road with a 9.975, her 9th career title on the vault, 23rd title for her career overall. And now here is the big star for Arizona State, the senior from Ontario and the All-American Hannah Sharp.
Starts off with a Maloney to a packed salto. Now she's going back up to the high bar, but overall really great form so far. Finishes up her routine with a half in, half out. Another stuck landing for the Sun Devils. Wow. What a meet so far.
She's in the all-around, which she's also participated in every meet so far this season. She has 10 event titles for the year overall as well. And again, she is the big star for them tonight. And Jordan Bowers, one of the big marquee names for OU, the sophomore from Lincoln, Nebraska. Top 15 in every event in the nation right now. She's up next here.
Yeah, she can be huge on this event. Just a little bit under-rotated on that vault from her. Just missed the block off the table, as we'll see again right here. Didn't get enough block to get over-rotated the amount that she needed, but recovered well. So another good vault for Oklahoma. Obviously, she can do better, but keeping the momentum going.
7th in the nation on vault. And remember, as far as the scoring, as you see it in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, they will drop the lowest score on each event. And this is Emily White coming up next on the bars here for Arizona State.
A difficult
the junior from Southern California.
Nice bail to handstand right there. So far, the form from Arizona State is superb. Really nailing those handstands, keeping their knees straight, and sticking their dismounts. Not quite sure if that was a stick. I saw a little slight hop, but really controlled landing from her.
She's been one of their most consistent gymnasts all season long, has 7 event titles and at least 1 on every event. So very versatile and balanced performer. And now final athlete on vault here, Audrey Davis, a junior from Florida.
Audrey's really been working on this vault, keeping those legs together. That was much better from her past vaults, I would say. Just a small step on the landing, but she really gets that explosive in the air. Right there, you just see slight leg separation. The judges will take on that, and then that small step, I'm unsure. They might take a little bit too since she crossed that line, but it was a great vault from her.
And now the final athlete of this first rotation on the bar, Sarah Clark, the junior from Huntington Beach, California, who has 4 event titles this year, all here on the bars.
Very high release right there, nailing that handstand into that lower bar transition. Hits that last handstand. All she has left now is the dismount. Beautiful double layout, holds on for that stick. Wow, great rotation for Arizona State.
And impressive coming into this environment at the Lloyd Noble Center and getting themselves off to a promising start. And now the exhibition portion, Sheridan Ramsey, the junior from not too far away in Tulsa for OU.
She does a Yurchenko full, found the landing and sticks it. The last time this season in the Lloyd Noble Center. What a reaction from her and her teammates. That vault starts from a 9.95. Finds that landing, holds on to it, keeps her chest up. A great showing from Sheridan.
And Gracie Reeves, the senior from Phoenix, will likewise be on the exhibition over on bars.
Opens up with a really high straddled Jaeger straight into that bail to the low bar. So far, a really good exhibition routine. Very clean form. Just slight leg separation in the air on that double layout, and then has to take a small hop, but I know she'll be happy with that, and that will increase her confidence for sure.
All right, so after this first rotation, #1 Oklahoma building up a nice advantage of 0.3 of a point over number 14 ASU as they get set to move on to rotation #2. Final afternoon of the regular season with the postseason coming up. Conference meets coming up next weekend, and then the NCAA tournaments. The Sooners on top of the Sun Devil after rotation #1. Sooner Gymnastics on Sooner Vision, brought to you by OU Health and the #1 ranked Oklahoma Sooners with the lead over number 14 Arizona State after the first of 4 rotations. And I don't know if any team could be more prepared for the postseason than this Oklahoma squad, Natalie. They have faced 10 different teams ranked this season, battle-tested as you can be here going down the stretch.
Yeah, not many teams can say that they face such tough competition as Oklahoma has so far this season, but they really have been tested and they've remained consistent overall. And it's going to prepare them for the postseason, which is right around the corner.
KJ has been just sensational for this program, almost 2 decades in now, a 3-time National Coach of the Year. She has won 5 national titles here, coming in after half a dozen years at Iowa State. But the Minnesota native has certainly made a home here in Oklahoma and made this program the envy of college gymnastics.
Yeah, KJ's great. So along with the entire coaching staff, they really are family, and you see that out on the competition floor, and it translates into the team week in and week out.
Huge challenge for Arizona State here today, going up against this Oklahoma program that is so good across the board. First in the nation in vault, which we just saw a moment ago. First in bars, second on beam, and also third on the floor. Arizona State has never beaten Oklahoma. They have met 7 times prior to today. OU is 7-0 against the Sun Devils, and what's more, trying to come into the Lloyd Noble Center and upset this Sooner squad, it is a fool's errand because Oklahoma has won 68 consecutive home meets, trying to make it 69 in a row here today as we move into the second rotation. And Arizona State coming up on vaults. Gracie Reeves will get things going, the senior from Phoenix, who we also saw on the bars back in that first rotation.
I believe Gracie will do a Yurchenko full, which starts at a 9.95 start value. So the highest score she can score if she's perfect is a 9.95.
And Arizona State, 18th in the nation on the vault as a team this season.
Good block off the table. Just a small hop on the landing, but a good lead off for Arizona State. Here you go again right here. Great block off the table. A little knees right there, but a good vault.
Sun Devils trying to rally, trailing after rotation number 1. As number 1 Oklahoma building up a lead of 0.3 of a point. And now they are about to begin on bars, where they are number 1 in the nation.
Yeah, they've been so consistent on this event, really finding those landings. And, you know, they have a great leadoff and they have a great anchor spot in this rotation, too. So they really build the momentum. So let's see what they do right here tonight.
Oklahoma coming off a rare loss at Michigan this past Monday. It was their first loss in over a year, facing a second consecutive second-ranked team in the nation. They had beaten Florida, but then went down to the Wolverines.
Yeah.
And now 13-1 on the season overall as they compete in their final regular season meet here today, Natalie.
Yeah, you know, they only lost by 1/10, so I wouldn't say it was a bad meet for Oklahoma, but I do think that they were a little bit shaky at times. You could definitely tell closing the meet on beam. They weren't their typical Oklahoma beam team, but it was a great meet. They had good competition, got it out of the way. Sometimes a loss is good in order to stay motivated throughout the season and then also realize what you need to do next time that you face them, which could be in the postseason.
And KJ did point out that they decided not to rest anyone, even though we're at the end of the regular season and trying to be fresh for the postseason. But they said we were going for it, and we realized afterwards that some might have been feeling the fatigue. They were tired, so that was a lesson learned as well, as we are now set for Danny Severs on the bars, which were just terrific last week on the road at Michigan. And Severs in particular with a 9.925, tying her season high.
Yeah, she is definitely who you want leading off on this event. Just great form throughout. Floaty on her releases. Nails every handstand. I say it every single time, but it's like watching the exact same routine week in and week out. Just a small step on that dismount, a little uncharacteristic for her. You can tell in her face right there, she really wanted to get that stick, but it was a great routine. Again, just a small step. See right here, that Maloney to Pac Salto combination is just so beautiful. And then right here on that dismount, doesn't get the stick this time, just slight heel movement. You can tell she was a little disappointed, but it happens.
This is Emily White for the Sun Devils.
Another Yurchenko full. Great form in the air, but that small hop will be a deduction. Again, this vault starts from a 9.95. Great form in the air. You can see her ankles are glued together, and then she just takes that small hop on the landing.
And now back over to the bars. Our first look at the freshman from Wisconsin, Faith Torres.
She's just a freshman and already making her impact on this team. Beautiful pack salto to the low bar. She's one of the most confident freshmen I've ever seen at Oklahoma. Fantastic double layout dismount, gets that stick, really holds on to it as well, and you can tell that her team is excited.
One of the things that KJ has been talking about, the head coach, the sticks have been getting better here on bars over these last several weeks.
Yeah, and the momentum is growing, and, you know, although Danny didn't get her typical stick, you know, it's never too late. It's 6 up, 5 count, so let's see if they can continue sticking on bars.
Jada Mangahas next on ball.
Another Yurchenko full. A little hop on that landing, but so far the form in the air is really great. We'll see right here. Great block off the table, flares out. Just a hop on that landing, but a good vault for Arizona State.
And now first glance at Reagan Smith, the Louisville, Texas native. A member of the national team and the former U.S. national all-around champion from 2017.
Nails that first handstand into her huge ray release right there. Hits that handstand. Just the dismount now. And she got the stick. That might have been the best bar routine I've seen from Reagan so far this season, and you can tell by her reaction. You know, it is senior night, so we might see some huge scores. Huge ray release right there. And then here's that dismount again. Superb. Wow. Way to go, Reagan.
Alex Theodoro, the sophomore from Phoenix, now for the Sun Devils.
A unique vault here. And she got the stick. Wow. That was a great vault for Alex. You can see right here, she does a half on and then a 1.5 off, I believe, and found that landing. Such a unique vault. You don't see that a lot in the NCAA.
So Arizona State trying to keep pace with the Sooners. Olivia Trumpman, the senior from Minnesota, next up on bars for Oklahoma, coming off a 9.925 last week, which matched her career high on the road at Michigan.
Nails that first handstand into her Maloney, straight to the low bar, that pack salto. Trying to keep the momentum going for Oklahoma on the bars. Beautiful double layout, gets the stick. A solid routine for Oklahoma. Just what they needed. Right here, that Maloney straight into the pack salto. Then you have that double layout dismount. Gets the stick. Huge smile on her face.
And now Anaya Smith, the junior from Maryland. Our first glance at her. Anaya in her first event of the afternoon. She has 4 titles this season on the vault.
She does a Yurchenko 1.5, almost gets that stick, but just a little bit under-rotated, has to hop backwards. A difficult vault there. That does start from a 10.0. See right here, gets the amplitude, but doesn't quite rotate as much as she needed. Has to take that hop back.
She tied for the event title with a 9-9 on the vault last week against Oregon State. Jordan Bowers from Lincoln, Nebraska, the junior, coming up next here on the bars for OU. A
So beautiful to watch.
Last week to tie a season high. Sorry about that, Natalie.
Nails that handstand right there. Straight into her pack salto. So floaty. So far, this routine is perfect. Half in, half out, dismount. Just has to save that landing right there. A little chest down, but got the stick. We'll see what the judges do, but a great routine for Jordan Bowers. Huge release right there. Nails that handstand. And then here's that dismount again, half in, half out. Slight correction right there, but great routine.
Again, coming off a season high from last week, 995, and now Hannah Sharp on vault for Arizona State.
A huge Yurchenko full. She gets just such huge block off that table, as we'll see here again. Blocks so well off that table, is able to flare out and find that landing for the stick.
The All-American, taking us back over to the bars for Audrey Davis, final athlete of this second rotation, the junior from Florida. Fourth in the nation on bars at this point in the season.
We have back-to-back 995s from Troutman and Bowers, so let's see what Audrey does right here. She's capable of near perfection.
She was the runner-up at the NCAA championships on this event last year.
Huge pike Jaeger right there. Nails that handstand. Wow. So far, this is an amazing routine for Audrey. Hits that final handstand. All she has left now is that dismount. Double front half. And just a small hop backwards. You know, she probably was going for that stick, but that was a great routine for Audrey and a way to end that bar rotation for Oklahoma. You'll see right here that unique Higgins grip into that piked Jaeger. So high. And then that dismount. Was going for the stick. Just a slight hop on the landing.
Now the All-American finishing things off on the bars, and now on to the exhibitions.
A Yurchenko full, got great distance. Didn't get as much amplitude as she needed off that table. Had to land with her chest down a little bit. You can see right here. Great distance, but lands a little bit with her chest down. And just a slight hop. A good exhibition vault for Arizona State.
Ava Sinkfeld, the freshman from Virginia for Oklahoma now.
It's good to see the depth from both teams as we head into the postseason. Great combination right there. Doesn't quite get that final handstand. Double front dismount, gets the stick. Wow. Really good exhibition routine for Oklahoma right there to show off the depth that they have going into the postseason.
And extending their lead somewhat here as we reach the midpoint of the meet.
The excitement from her teammates. It's always good for exhibition, for gymnasts to get in the exhibition spot and get some experience, really boost your confidence. You never know when you could be put in the lineup, so it's great to see.
right, so 2 rotations down, 2 to go. Oklahoma extending their lead and on top of Arizona State here in the final regular season meet from the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman. Back in Norman at the Lloyd Noble Center, where after the second of the 4 rotations, number 1 Oklahoma has the lead over 14th ranked Arizona State. Air Comfort Solutions brings you the midpoint scoring, and the Sooners trying to go the distance here, wire to wire, and win out on their home stage for what would be a 69th consecutive home win. They're off to a good start, and for more, let's go to the third member of our crew, Ashley Vandeveld. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, you saw Katla Vassar stick that perfect 10 on vault. It's her second of the season and the third perfect 10 here in the Lloyd Noble Center this season. Head coach KJ Kindler told me that Katla Vassar is one of the hardest workers in the gym. She's always got that pointed toe. Her gymnastics intricacies are truly always on point, so it is no surprise that she was able to stick that perfect 10 on vault today.
And what a springboard that was for them, Natalie. Just the third on vault and already a 10 to really jumpstart the day for this Sooner team that will now move over to the balance beam for the third rotation.
Yeah, I think the Sooners so far this meet have really kept their momentum going, and that's something that I can't say that they've done at home so far this season. So it's really great to see tonight. Let's see what they do going to beam here. But yeah, it's great to see another perfect 10, hoping for one maybe on the beam tonight. KJ Kindler says that getting a perfect 10 on the beam is the most difficult of the events to get one. But I do think that Oklahoma is capable.
And her final words to Jenna Dunn, who will lead things off on the beam, the senior from Oklahoma City. Her final time on the beam. Final regular season home meet, senior day here at Oklahoma. And someone that KJ has said is just so low stress, so easy to coach, gets along with everybody. And what a moment this must be for these two to exchange these final words before her final time on her best event.
Yeah, Jenna is definitely who you want leading off on this event. She's so calm and collected, and shows it throughout her routine.
And this is perhaps the toughest event to be leadoff in, isn't it?
For sure. And, you know, each leadoff has their own way of doing things, but you can definitely tell that there's a different mode of confidence and assurance in their faces, as you can see right here from Jenna. She'll start off with a triple series. Handspring layout, perfectly done. Split straddle half. Just so consistent on this event. Jenna grew up down the street and trained at Bart Conner. A great gainer full dismount right there. Her final routine in the regular season at the Lloyd Noble Center. What a way to go out. Fantastic lead off for Oklahoma. Here's that triple series again. Just perfect. Finds that landing on the dismount. Sets the Sooners up.
Meanwhile, Kayla Lee is first up on the floor for the Sun Devils, the freshman from Scottsdale, Arizona, and the floor is where Arizona State, as a team, is ranked 13th in the country.
Starts off with a front double full. Good difficult pass right there. It is an E pass. 1.5 front layout. Nicely done. On this rotation, you're really looking to see their landings, whether they step forward or backwards. If they step forward and they're doing a backwards pass, that means they did under-rotate. If they step backwards doing a forwards pass, they're under-rotating. You also want to see leaps at 180. And you also want to see a great performance. Heading into that final pass, a Rudy. Great leadoff routine for Arizona State right there. From Kayla Lee.
One of 5 freshmen on this team, a very experienced squad. They have 12 upperclassmen, but one of 5 freshmen balancing things out on the lower end.
That last pass again, holds that landing. Great into that routine.
And now over on the balance beam, already underway, Olivia Troutman.
Another senior, performing her last regular season routine on this event.
Oklahoma second in the nation coming in on the beam.
Had an uncharacteristic ball right there. You can tell she was a little off on that layout. You could tell by her face she was really surprised. Not something you want to happen on senior night, but again, it does happen. You know, Olivia's gone through a lot. She is the story of perseverance, and regardless of how perfect she's been, you make mistakes here and there because we're human. Just her dismount now. Round off 1.5. A good recovery from her. You know, she'll be a little disappointed, but her team's got her back, and she just has to move on from this. You'll see that series right here again. It was just a little off on that landing. You can see her foot hopped, couldn't really find her balance. And then that dismount. Good recovery right there.
And quickly swinging back over to the floor for the second athlete here in the third rotation for the Sun Devils. And on the floor, Alex Theodoro.
Opens up with a full twisting double back. Stumbles a little bit out of bounds right there. Not the typical pass you'll see from her. That will be a 10th off the final score.
This is the one event where Arizona State has moved up the most in the national rankings here over the last few weeks, making big strides here coming down the stretch.
Yeah, and she is capable of huge scores. I'm not sure about tonight. Her team will definitely want to drop this routine. Run up 1.5 layout. Unique jump right there. Overall, a good routine for Arizona State. Again, not her best, but continuing to move through their floor rotation.
And a reminder, you get to drop 1 score per event in every rotation.
And there's that first pass again. You see, she just landed a little bit under-rotated with her chest down, had to take those steps backwards.
And now Jordan, the junior from Lincoln, top 5 in the nation here on the beam.
Has handled the pressure so well so far this season on this event. You can see the confidence in her face and every movement that she does.
She's also the current leader in the all-around here this afternoon, where she's also top 5 in the nation.
Her rhythm is just so great on this event. You can see she moved so quickly into that series and then nailed it. The judges do look for that. Just a little off on that leap, but hold steady. It's always tough going after a fall, knowing that there's still more routines to go. It really proves how tough your squad is. So far, she's handling the pressure really well. Round off, double twist, gets the stick. Just what Oklahoma needed after that fall.
Something that KJ has talked about as the head coach, the strong minds of her squad on an event like this and how much it means, how impactful it can be.
Yeah, and moments like this are definitely needed. Heading into the postseason, you know, there are going to be imperfections, and you need to know that your team has your back.
There's Jordan Jaslow, the senior from Denver. Her only title this season is on the floor. And here she is in rotation number 3.
Opens up with a double pike. Nicely done. Great 180 on those splits. Front lay, front full. All she has left now is her final pass, which will be a double back. Lands it so well. That was such a great routine. A great routine to get Arizona State back on track after that step out of bounds. We'll see that first pass here again, that double pike. Great landing.
And now, on the beam, the freshman Faith Torres.
Coach Kindler talked about how they've tweaked her routine a little bit, taking out a leap that was just unneeded. Very difficult series right there. That side aerial to back layout, step out.
This is the one event where you know all eyes are on you. You don't have the energy of the crowd because that doesn't have that kind of vibe to it. You don't have the music. It's just that stillness, and it gives you a chance to think, which sometimes is the best thing. You just want to perform.
Does the round off 1.5 dismount this time, and she gets the stick. That has to be the best routine that I've seen Faith do all season. You know, she's done great routines all season long, but has yet to get the stick. Changed up her routine a little bit this week. Overall, looks so confident. And wow, what a great routine for her. That should be a huge score.
And now Emily White, the junior from Southern California, on floor for Arizona State. Tied for the floor title last week in the win over Oregon State with a season's best 9.95.
Opens up with that E pass, front double full. Round off 1.5 to layout. Beautiful switch ring right there. So far, this is a superb routine. Very graceful in her every movement. Just her last pass here. Front full, front layout. Arizona State's having fun out there on the floor. Another great routine to keep it going. See that final pass right there. Front full, front layout.
And now Audrey Davis, the junior from Florida, next up on the beam here for Oklahoma.
Faith Torres put up a 9.975, a career best for her, near perfect, and so deserved. Audrey is beautiful to watch on this event. Has great toe point, the straightest of knees, and just flows throughout her routine. Opens up with her series, back handspring layout. Front aerial. I will say that Oklahoma has such great rhythm on this event. Beat jump, split ring. Handling the pressure so well. Her dismount now, round off double full. Gets the stick. Another amazing routine for Oklahoma. We might see another huge score for that routine. That dismount again, round off double full. Finds the landing, is so happy.
And Natalie, you had mentioned Faith Torres, the freshman who had the 9.975 before her on the beam. That's the second best score in any rotation for Oklahoma so far today, behind Kat's 10 on the vault. So that was a tremendous performance from the freshman Faith Torres. Audrey Davis following it up with a fine beam routine as well, as we're back on the floor for ASU.
Yeah, she opened up with a half in, half out. Had to land a little bit low there. Didn't get the power off that back handspring that she needed going into that skill. The judges will take for that.
Jada Mangahas with 2 event titles this season, both coming here on the floor for the junior from Pennsylvania.
Front tuck through to a double back. Again, right there, just doesn't get the power she needs, has to take a small step forward, which means that it was a little under-rotated. A good routine for Arizona State. Definitely not her best, as you can see in her face, but it was a good steady routine, just had a little bit of under-rotated passes.
Now senior Reagan Smith on the beam for OU. She's 14th in the nation in this event and already has a 10 this season here on the beam.
And Audrey Davis got a 9.9. So some really great scores to set up Reagan right here. Again, it is senior night. I know she's hoping to do her best routine yet. Back handspring layout, so solid. Great front aerial. You know, the confidence that Oklahoma is showing right here is amazing. You would never know that they had a fall earlier in the lineup. Beautiful turn. All she has left is her dismount. Back handspring, gainer full, gets the stick. A great finish for Oklahoma on the beam right there. You can tell Reagan is happy with that. That might be a huge score. I didn't see much. Not sure what the judges will give her, but here we go again with that series. Back handspring layout. And then that dismount. Flares out, gets the stick. Good job, Oklahoma, for handling that adversity earlier in the lineup.
All right, the anchor on the floor for the Sun Devils is the senior from Ontario, Canada, Hannah Sharp, the All-American who tied her career high on floor last week by winning the event against Oregon State with a 9.950.
Starts off with a front tuck through to a double back. She's a solid competitor for Arizona State. Front full to front tuck. Really finding the landings so far in this routine. Now for that last pass. Ends with a beautiful double pike. Just great form in the air, a great landing. What a way for Arizona State to end it on the floor right there.
But even so, Oklahoma continuing to pull away. How about these last three scores on the beam? They went 9.975 with the freshman Faith Torres, 9.9 with Audrey Davis, and then 9.975 with Reagan Smith as we move on to the exhibition now.
Here is Catherine Lavasser. Beautiful to watch on this event with her long lines. Has some experience on this event. Proving again that Oklahoma has depth on this event. Back handspring layout, solid. Switch lead to a straddle quarter. Just a little off right there. Tried to save it and then had to lean a little bit more. But fought to stay on. Switch leap back handspring to a gainer full. Well done routine. You know, she had that little bobble there. You can tell she's not happy with that. She is typically perfect almost on this event, but that was a great routine. She should be proud, and it should definitely build her confidence heading into the postseason.
This is Sarah Clark, the junior from California now for Arizona State. Her best event is the bars, and now the exhibition for her on the floor.
Opens up with a double pike. Lands it so well. It's great seeing all these gymnasts get some exhibition experience. We'll prepare them as we move forward into the postseason. 1.5 to a front layout. Doesn't quite go 180 on that switch ring. Final pass. Double tuck, lands a little bit low. That hurt my ankles. I hope she's okay. But hung on to that. Didn't have to take a step forward, but a good exhibition. You know, it's good to see them get out there, especially in front of the #1 team's crowd.
All right, so at the end of this third rotation, Oklahoma expanding on their lead. And let's go back to Reagan Smith, who had that 9.975 on the beam a moment ago.
Yeah, a near perfect routine for her. So great. The only thing that I probably would have taken was right there. Her leg kind of came up a little bit, but gets that stick on the landing. She was excited. The crowd was excited, along with her coach.
And they were just tremendous there on the beam as a team. And OU extending their margin after every rotation, now leading by over a point going into the final rotation of the afternoon. #1 on top of number 14 here on Senior Day at Oklahoma. Oklahoma extending their advantage going into the final rotation on Senior Day and their last home regular season meet before the postseason. And check out this senior class and what they have accomplished over the years. And of course, Stern and Troutman are fifth-year seniors, but not much more you can do to put up a more impressive resume on your door here on your final year. And with more, let's send you down to, once again, the third member of the crew. Here is Ashley Vanderbilt.
You can't talk about this senior class without mentioning fifth-year senior Olivia Troutman. She's been sidelined by injuries throughout her collegiate career, but she has really made such a valiant return back to the floor this season for OU women's gymnastics. She's what head coach KJ Kindler calls a gamer. She anchors this team, and she's even poised to quite possibly make her return to floor before the season is over.
All right, Ashley. And now getting set for this final rotation here, and it will be #1 Oklahoma over on the floor, where so far this season they are ranked 3rd in the nation. That's actually their lowest ranking of any event. They're 1st on vault, 1st on bar, 2nd on beam, only 3rd on floor, but still very good. That KJ was telling us just a few days ago is how they have been with the floor, some of the passes and trying to work out a few things, but the difficulty is very high. And this is the one event where they can still have the most impact in terms of improving going into the postseason, Natalie.
Yeah, and last week was not their best showing on floor. You could see some tiredness, you know, from that double weekend. An uncharacteristic fall from Jordan Bowers. She's actually changed that pass. She's had some trouble with it throughout this season. You know, she did get a perfect 10 with it in her routine, but they went ahead and decided to change that. So we'll see what she ends up doing here tonight. But let's see if Oklahoma can finish strong.
And now getting things going on the beam, Arizona State entering their final rotation here. And Kayla Lee opening up here on the road for the Sun Devils.
They had a season high on this event last week. Opens up with a triple series right there. Back handspring layout.
Did you take your...
Dismount, round off 1.5. Takes a small step on that landing. Good leadoff routine for Arizona State.
A freshman from Scottsdale, Arizona, and now over on the floor. It'll be Belle Johnson. Our first look at the junior from right here in Norman, Oklahoma. Hometown, and now in front of the home fans.
Great first pass to open up. Belle's been in and out of this leadoff position for Oklahoma. Finishing up, great last pass for her. Great leadoff routine right there for Oklahoma. Way to get things started there on the floor.
Always important to get that leadoff vibe on the floor where you can generate so much energy from the crowd and set the tone for your teammates. Now over on the beam, it is Kimmy Smith. First event for her here today for the Sun Devils.
Opens up with that unique skill right there. Side aerial from one leg. Just was off, as you can tell. She had to take a fall. That will be 5/10. Off again on that handspring layout. You know, you feel for these gymnasts in these situations. Having to lead off on this event is not easy, and you want to set your team up well, but sometimes that's just not the case, and you just have to power through. Into her team with a gainer full, sticks it. A good recovery. You can tell she's a little bit disappointed, but you know, she has her team there. I'm sure they've handled pressure before. So.
And now over on the floor, this is Audrey Davis, the junior from Florida. Again, Oklahoma extending their lead after every rotation, trying to win for the 69th consecutive time here at home.
Opens up with a front double full. Very well done. We've seen Audrey typically this season lead off on this event, so it's pretty cool seeing her second up. Run up 1.5 to a front full. Coach Kindler is so unique with their choreography. I always look forward to seeing the routines year in. A great routine for Audrey Davis for Oklahoma to keep the momentum going over there on the floor.
Over on beam now. This is Sky Harper, the junior from Bay Shore, New York. Only event she is participating in here this afternoon. And Natalie, as you know, always tricky when you warm up earlier in the day, but then you sit around for so long, kind of get cold, and then you have to come out and do what could arguably be considered the most difficult event, and also do it on the road at the #1 team in the nation.
Yeah, and especially after your teammate in front of you had a fall, you know, you feel the pressure. But this is great experience for this team and for each individual competing on this event. Opens up with a front toss to a back handspring. Gaining some confidence. Lead to a switch half. You know, being up there on the balance beam, it's nice hearing your teammates cheer for you. Finishes up her routine with that back handspring to a gainer full. After a fall, a great routine, and they are rebuilding that momentum.
And now Reagan Smith, the senior, first-team All-American here on the floor. And Reagan, final home routine on senior day in front of this Lloyd Noble Center crowd.
A super fun routine from the senior. Opens up with a double back. Landed very well. Second pass now, round up 1.5 to a front layout. Got a lot of height on that front layout. Probably the best I've seen from Reagan. All that's left is her last pass for her senior night. Round off, double pike. A great routine from Reagan. She has had a fantastic night. What a way to go out during the regular season. Here's that opening pass, that round up back handspring, double back. And then that final pass, round up back handspring, double pike. Lands so well. Probably the best routine I've seen her do at home this year.
A tough start on the beam for this Arizona State squad. Sarah Clark, the junior from California, is up next. But they began with a 9-6 from Kayla Lee, 8-4-5 from Kimmy Smith. While it's been Oklahoma just killing it on the floor. And they got a career high 9.95 from Belle Johnson, 9.9 from Audrey Davis, and just continuing to roll along in their final event.
She opened up with a beautiful back handspring layout. Definitely under some pressure right here. That split to a stag ring. Despite the fall earlier in the lineup, she is looking very confident. Back handspring to a 1.5 dismount, holds for that stick. Another great routine for Arizona State to continue building back their momentum on the beam. A beautiful back handspring into that dismount right there, and then holds for that stick.
And now Jordan Bowers, the junior from Nebraska, NCAA runner-up on the floor last year, first-team All-American on the floor, and oh, by the way, Big 12 champion as well.
And like I said earlier, Jordan Bowers is changing her routine from this past week. Had some trouble with her final pass, so we'll see what she ends up doing here tonight. She'll open up with a huge, oh, no, there we go. Opens up with a front double full to the front tuck. Beautifully done. Typically, she'll open up with that round up back handspring double pike. And there you'll see it right there. The strategy worked. Just from the look on her face, you can tell she is very confident with this new setup. It's very impressive to see a gymnast change their routine A great routine for Jordan Bowers to keep it going for Oklahoma on the floor. You'll see her first pass, front double fold to a front tuck, then now ends with a sky-high round-up back handspring double pike, and is just so solid for the Sooners tonight.
Well, remember, Bowers has had a 10 on floor already this season. And now it's back over to the beam here for this Arizona State team, really reeling here in this final rotation. They got a 9-7 from Sky Harper, and now Emily White trying to sort of stem the damage here, but she drops off the beam, and the struggles continue.
Yeah, opens up with that back handspring layout. Just can't find her footing, has to fall off the beam. Just heartbreaking to see, because you know that they want so bad to handle the pressure well and clean up that first error from the team. However, every 10th still matters. Again, there were 2 falls in that opening routine. She's only fallen 1 time. So she still would like to count this routine out of the 6 that will go. Just her dismount now, back handspring to a 1.5, just a small hop on the landing. A better routine than that opening routine, so they'll definitely count that one over it. But again, she did take a fall, which was not what she wanted to do, but again, it just happens.
All right, Faith Torres, the freshman from Wisconsin. Torres beaming with confidence after her 9.975 on beam in that last rotation, and now trying to finish strong on the floor.
And she is capable of greatness on this event. Just a freshman, yet so confident, opens up with a huge double layout. Finds her landings every time. While also performing throughout the routine. Truly incredible to see. Just her final pass now. A front through to a double tuck. So quick on those landings. Wow. A great routine for Faith Torres. This has to be the best floor rotation from Oklahoma this year. Wow. And the scores are definitely proving it. Opens up with that huge double layout. And then that last pass here again is so quick on those landings. All
Top
smiles from her.
In the nation on the floor, Faith Torres looking for her 9th straight score of 9 or higher on the floor, while finishing things up on the beam. This is Hannah Scharf, and really this is damage control salvage mode for the Sun Devils, who have really gotten sidetracked here and come apart on the beam at the end of the day.
Opened up with a very difficult double wolf turn, but makes it look so easy. Now for her series, back handspring layout, super solid. A little off on that side flip. Switch leap split. You know, most gymnasts are perfectionists, so if you see a slight error, you will see their demeanor change just a little bit. But this is a great routine so far. Just her dismount now. Round off 1.5. Small step right there, but a good finish for Arizona State there on the beam. You can tell she's not super happy with that after that small bobble, but it was a good routine, and Arizona State definitely
And now the final athlete for Oklahoma here on the floor, Danny Severs, the sophomore from South Dakota, a first-team All-American on the floor and a Big 12 champion as well.
And this is Danny's first time anchoring on this event. I'm very excited for her. She's typically a strong leadoff for Oklahoma. Opens up with that full twisting, double back. Great. Such a great performer. So far on floor, Oklahoma hasn't seen a score below a 9-9. Front through to a double back. Keeps that front foot down. Now all that's left for her to do is perform. She's just so fun to watch. All smiles from Danny Severs tonight, anchoring floor for the Sooners. You can tell her team is excited. She's excited. What a great rotation for OU. Opens up with that huge full twisting double back. And then that final pass, a front through to a double tuck. Keeps that front foot down.
And now this is Gracie Reeves for the exhibition of the senior from Phoenix on the beams.
Does a triple series back handspring layout. Hangs on. Just a little soft in those knees. You can tell she's just a little bit hesitant on each of her skills, but she is gaining confidence each step of the way with this exhibition routine. Finishes with a round off 1.5 to a stuck dismount.
Oklahoma really expanding on their margin in this final rotation.
Yeah, the Sooners didn't see a score below a 9.9. Huge score from Reagan Smith, 9.975, and then 9.95s back-to-back from Jordan Bowers and Faith Torres. What a great night for the Sooners.
Senior day here at the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman. And Oklahoma just tremendous, living up to this #1 label. What a robust finish to what has been a tremendous regular season here. And Oklahoma beating Arizona State in a convincing, decisive fashion here to close out the regular season.
afternoon here in Norman, Oklahoma at the Lloyd Noble Center. Senior Day. And 4 seniors being honored. So critical to the success of this Sooner program over the years. So many accomplishments and putting the finishing touches on a stunning series of years here. Their 69th consecutive home win at the Lloyd Noble Center today. This was earlier with the seniors watching a video of how things have transpired over the years, and boy, the memories have certainly been striking, Natalie.
Yeah, and each of them have put up great numbers here tonight. You know, Olivia Troutman on vault, 9.925. Allie Stern got back in it with a 9.875. And then on bars, some great scores. Beam and then floor, way to end it. This team has proven time and time again what they are made of, and I was so proud to see what they've accomplished tonight on the floor. This was their best floor rotation so far this year, and it's a great thing to know, especially for that team. Really builds their confidence heading into the postseason.
Second highest floor score in history for Oklahoma. And Jordan Bowers, who wins the all-around, is the Love's Gymnast of the Meet.
Yeah, Jordan was fantastic tonight. You know, didn't start off the way that she normally does on that vault under rotating, but really came through on every single event after that. You know, hit this bar routine. And then she had to change up her floor routine this week after some errors last week and handled it like a pro. I'm very impressed with her, and she should be so proud of her performance tonight.
And what a season in which they also set a school record for an overall team score back in late February. They finished with flourish here on Senior Day at the Lloyd Noble Center. They finished this regular season 14-1, and again, their 69th consecutive home win, and now set up for the postseason. They will have the Big 12 meet coming up, and then we'll host the NCAA Regionals again for the 5th time. They have never lost when hosting a regional at the Lloyd Noble Center, as we once again look back at the senior class of 4 individuals and all of their accolades here over the last several years. Natalie.
Yeah, it's great. Allie Stern, Olivia Troutman, national champions in 2019, and then all 4 of them national champions last year. And who knows what could happen this year. There's still more meets to go, and they should be proud of their performances tonight.
And they will be looking for their 10th Big 12 championship title in the last 11 years next weekend. Taco Mayo brings you the final score here, and it's a big one. Number 1 over number 14, and that's a huge number and a sizable margin to win by. So it's a statement victory for the Sooners over the Sun Devils here at home today as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Arizona State, they had a great meet. You know, they had some trouble there on the beam, having 3 falls, but, you know, they kept it together and mistakes happen, and they gained some experience competing against the number 1 team tonight.
All right, so that'll close things out for us as Oklahoma closes out the regular season high at the Lloyd Noble Center. What a way to end it. And now for Natalie Brown and our entire crew, I'm Steve Schlanger. Thanks for joining us, everyone, here on Sooner Vision, as number 1 Oklahoma beats number 14 Arizona State, and the Sooners are rolling as they get set for the postseason beginning next week at the Big 12 Championships, and then it's back to Norman for the NCAA Regionals as they go in search of their 6th national title.